There is an amazingly tight fit among, I should say, today's three readings. An amazingly tight fit. First reading talks about Adam and Eve, their disobedience to God, and their obedience to the devil. And that's how original sin came into the world. And you know what original sin is. It's the cause of many ills. Whenever someone says, I have the flu, think of original sin. When a young child has to get a shot, a flu shot, and the young child goes bonkers, think about original sin. Think about the consequences of disobedience to God. And in the gospel, Jesus obeys God and disobeys the devil and tells the devil to be gone. So just as the second reading says, through the disobedience of Adam and Eve, sin came into the world, and that's why we're capable of making the world such a mess. Through the obedience of Jesus. Original sin was taken away, though its effects remain, and a superabundance of God's grace was poured out in the death and resurrection of Jesus, which were an act of obedience to the Father's plan. Lent is a time to think about our obedience to the Lord and our disobedience, and especially to reflect on where the disobedience comes from. The devil is a liar, and he's the father of lies. We know that. And the devil is such a good liar that he convinced Adam and Eve to play God. And the devil is such a good liar that he convinces you and me to play God. In other words, to set God aside, to dethrone God, and place the devil on the throne where God sat. And we say, oh, I'm not a devil worshiper. Every time you choose yourself and your likes and dislikes, every time I choose myself, my likes and my dislikes, and place them as superior to God, I am playing God. I am worshiping myself as God. And the one who does not worship the true God worships the devil one way or another. And so the problem with our disobedience is that the devil succeeds in tempting us, in deceiving us into thinking that just for a moment, just for the sake of this or that which appears good, I am going to play God. Don't worry, God, I'll put you back on your throne in 20 minutes. But right now, stand aside so that I can worship myself and what I want. And when I do that, the devil wins. I wind up worshiping him. Disobedience comes out of self-deception. And disobedience was a great enough act to mess up the whole of human history. But the good news is that the obedience of Jesus Christ was so powerful an act that it saved us all, even though we don't deserve it. The next time we're tempted to disobedience, let's think about what disobedience has done for the human race and for human history. And let us decide, rather than disobedience, to choose obedience, which saved everybody over the course of only 3 days. Praise be Jesus Christ.